Welcome to the frickin' Guardians of the Galaxy.
Star-Lord has an ego the size of a planet.
This is the adventure story review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. No spoilers, mostly.
So in our minds, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 is a perfect film, a 5. It's a film that can be watched on repeat from younglings to prune people. My first viewing transported me to my very young, very good-looking body where I watched E.T. for the first time. Yeah, 5-year-old body. It's a little creepy. Where I travelled at 88 miles an hour to the future to skate on a hoverboard. The first Guardian flick had it all. It's escapism at its best.
Oh, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
So Star-Lord and the gang had a lot to live up to in Volume 2. Firstly, before we get into the film, we know James Gunn and his team are super invested in the universe they have created together. We had the opportunity to go to the London Gala premiere, where James Gunn, Kurt Russell and Chris Pratt made an appearance. When Kurt Russell stepped out on stage, Reuben squealed like a little girl.
I did.
So exciting. But by far the best bits of the pre-show with the amazing lighting effects and the DJ had to be when John Baptiste danced with the kids at the front. They really do love what they do.
It's a cool job, but yeah, they do love what they do.
It's awesome.
Anyway, now that we are done with our gushing, we'll get into Volume 2. Volume 2 starts as shown in all the trailers with the team battling an interdimensional octopus thing. Cue one of the greatest openings I've ever had the honor of seeing on screen. Without giving anything away, right from the get-go, the Guardian film is driven by an amazing soundtrack. And a spectacular opening sequence.
The Guardians have come to realise that Star-Lord's love of music, specifically his mother's playlist on tapes, is never going away. The 70s themed music playlist, which is available to buy now, we'll leave a link below, is by far one of the biggest driving forces in Volume 2. More so than the first. The team seem pretty preoccupied at times with Star-Lord's music, even at the most inopportune time.
There are in fact 5 factors that drive this film to near perfection in our opinion. 1. The 70s music playlist.
2. So many incredible one-liners that you will require many viewings to watch them all.
Do me!
3. The underlining family trumps all story arc, which we will get to.
No, we're family.
4. The incredible visuals, which of course you'd get with all of the Guardians films.
And 5. The phenomenal writing, which kind of goes hand in hand with the one-liners, but both need a point of their own.
Does anybody have any tape out there? I want to put some tape over the death button.
Getting back into the film, we find ourselves just hanging out with the team as they try to make some money fighting the interdimensional pink squid thing.
Hey.
All of which is set to the backdrop of incredible visuals, one-liners, and the 70s soundtrack.
Yeah.
But what this film is about, at its core, is family.
Yep, family.
Aww.
Kurt Russell plays Ego, a character who claims to be Star-Lord's dad, and this is where the family theme comes into play as the overall arc. But where Star-Lord's daddy issues, could overbear the film, James Gunn so cleverly brings every character into Star-Lord's his story, creating a sort of embryonic family arc storyline with each of the team. He builds from the character development of the first film to what they have now. A bickering, very dysfunctional family, but a family no less.
What you don't have to be worried about at all is whether or not this film is just a stopgap. It is not the link or bridge to take us to the Infinity War storyline, which is what a lot of people were thinking would happen with this film, and the upcoming Thor Ragnarok. Now, we can't say yet about Thor, but Guardians certainly isn't a stopgap.
No, it's not.
Awesome.
James Gunn has seemingly been allowed to carry on his vision for the Guardians. This is a day in the life of the Guardians. It's that type of story, where the audience is along for the ride. Ultimately, Volume 2 is the same as the first, but Mr. Gunn gives us ample backstory to each of his characters. Drax! My voice is breaking. Gamora, Rocket, and Star-Lord. Even some of the not-so-main characters get backstory in amongst space explosions and witty lines. Michael Rooker, who plays Yondu in the film,
It was awesome.
brought an emotional side to the storyline that I didn't see coming. In fact, the scene between him and Rocket is probably my favourite in the entire film, if not both films.
So we should not have been surprised though that Yondu's character was fleshed out so much, bearing in mind that what great friends Mr. Rooker and Mr. Gunn actually are. And that's what we meant by family arc. Mr. Gunn has obviously taken great care in developing these characters and storylines for them.
He really has.
Yeah.
Great writing. In fact, Volume 2 doesn't seem much like a sequel, but rather a continuation from where it left off, as if it's just another episode of Star-Lord and his band of thieving misfits. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The cinematography can often be overlooked in films like this, but if, like me, if lighting flicks your switch, then you'll definitely pick up a few scenes with oohs and ahs, especially with Yondu's character.
So the band are thrust together once more on a new adventure about discovery. Who is this Ego and what does he want? Gamora deals with her sister issues, Rocket deals with emotions that he doesn't know how to handle, Drax is trying to deal with the loss of his family, and Star-Lord, well, he has Hoff-sized issues. And let's not forget about baby Groot.
Ah, Groot. Groot sacrificed himself in episode 1 to save the team from a massive crash. Thankfully, a part of him survived, and now he is a little seedling. So with his powers severely limited because of his size, Groot has to now try and keep up with the shenanigans that the Guardians get up to, which is a lot.
That's a really bad sign.
Basically, the Guardians now have a baby tree to look after. Where in some films, the child/baby can often be the thing that destroys the film, here it seems to be the opposite. Groot often steals the scenes from everyone else on camera. This is down to obviously the visual expertise of the film involved in the creation of the character, which is so lovable that even the bad guys can't harm him.
It's too adorable.
He is super cute.
So, will you enjoy this film as much as the first? Well, probably. It's like a continuation of the first. Unless you're going into the film with a scowl on your face wanting to hate it. Honestly, there's not much to dislike. There's just more of the same. Take the original Star Wars trilogy. A New Hope was awesome. But The Empire Strikes Back is said to be the best of the three because of where it is and how it fits into the whole story arc.
Whether this Volume 2 will be Empire to Guardians is yet to be seen. We will just have to wait for Volume 3, but we suspect that this may be the case. The Guardians film has already been talked about as this generation's Star Wars, or the Star Wars that we need. James Gunn has also given us a film that stands on its own. No need to have watched any of the other films in the MCU. Just go along for the ride, witty banter and fantastic characters. Let your inner child out and enjoy the adventure. Oh, and by the way, if you like end credit scenes, then don't get up. Tell everybody to sit down, in fact. They are 5. Yes, you heard us. 5.
And if you can see it in a full cinema, then please do. We were surrounded by 4,000 other people who laughed and cried cried at the same time. The atmosphere was amazing. It's totally worth seeing with other humans or aliens, if that's what you prefer.
Well, some people prefer the squishy kind.
We are not here to judge.
This brings us to the rating. After long contemplation, I am giving it a 5. How about you, Gemma?
I would give it a 5 too.
What the what?
I know, right?
That's cool. It's like
We
you
agree
changed your
on
mind.
something.
Thank you for watching our review. Have you seen it? Do you intend to see it? Do you agree with us or disagree with us? Let us know below in the comments.
If this is your first time with us and you enjoy our content, then please like this video and subscribe to the Ruby Tuesday for all the geeky news that we can muster, along with gameplay and more movie reviews like these.
Like these.
Like these.
So, until next time, live long and Tuesday.
Only he didn't use frickin'.